The government in the West are still supporting and receiving Israeli politicians. I don't know why they are receiving this Lieberman, the racist man, why they are receiving them in Europe. Why? What is he going to do there? Like, this is racist. So we appeal to everybody, like, you know, in Britain, and I thank Cambridge students for their honorable, you know, stance with us to support us. So, I mean, the situation is undescribable.
I'd like to talk about the situation in Gaza. As our teachers had said before about the bad situation, but I would like to say that the Palestinian people, especially in Gaza, they never give up hope and keep on going, and they're ambitious, and they always stand by each other. In hard times, in good times, and they try to overcome everything they face in these days. And seriously, the situation is not that good and not encouraging for anybody in Gaza. And we as students, we have, as me, I'm studying architecture now, and I've always thought of going outside and taking my training courses before graduation. And that's an idea. I don't think of it anymore because of the borders are always closed and difficulties in traveling abroad. And also, other than electricity, transportation, and the most important thing that we don't have the books and resources that we can get from abroad. All of what we depend on is what is locally offered and available.
There is no airport in Gaza. It was completely destroyed from the Israeli armies. So before maybe 5 or 6 years, I think so. It's until now, and after the siege on Gaza, and after the war in Gaza, it's closed. You know, and this is a big problem.
I will give you an example. I have got, my colleague, my friend, Dr. Aoun El-Karzon. He received an invitation from America to travel there as a visitor professor, you know, to teach there in one of the American universities, American literature, sorry. And they kept, you know, telling him, no way, you cannot pass for more than 1 month until he, you know, finally passed. And he's a professor. He's an associate professor in American literature. You know, we contacted the consul here, the American consul in Jerusalem, and the people there, and the university, and it's really very difficult. So
maybe soon I'm going to Britain soon, but just I'm waiting the borders, and my papers already are ready. So, but all these are the borders nowadays. But is there freedom in this world? Why there is attacks nowadays? Why there is war in Afghanistan, in Iraq? Does the people or the Muslims want to fight, or they have the desire to kill? Does they have the desire to have a fun for killing? The answer is very easy. There is no justice. All what we want, justice. We want justice in this world. We live in the jungle rule. There is no justice. When there is no justice, there is war. War is for peace. Why the people now in USA elected Obama? When they elected Obama, many people in the Arabic countries became very happy. Why? Because they look now, maybe Obama is going to change the rules. We don't want veto. We don't want allies and not allies. We want good justice. When there is justice, there is a peace. This is my point of view about what's happening nowadays, the war, and why it's happening in Gaza, in Iraq, in Afghanistan. Nobody like war. Nobody like fighting. Nobody like killing. People want justice. This is what we want.
It's well known that there is lots of lobbying and military industries around the issue of Palestine and Gaza and the whole Israel-Palestine conflict. That's all I can say. Keep hoping and keep fighting for justice, and we will try to do The same here.
It's not easy to find answers from an Israeli perspective either, and like no one I know in Israel voted Lieberman in, and it's very difficult. Like lots of people oppose the attack on Gaza, and people, sort of ordinary Israeli people, don't feel strong. They feel weak, and they're being manipulated by their government, and the same with the US, I think, in many ways. And there are lots of, as Eleftheria says, business interests and military interests that are manipulating ordinary people.
The conflict in Gaza as a conflict between two equal sides, when of course we know that the power of the Israeli military, you all know the destructive power of the Israeli military. Most of the media in our country saw the war as a conflict between two equal sides, which we know isn't the case. There was also controversy because the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, refused to run a charity appeal for people in Gaza on the grounds that it would break neutrality. But I think the BBC already broke neutrality by their coverage of the war, which was very pro-Israeli. It has come out after the conflict that, for instance, the IDF has admitted to using white phosphorus weapons in Gaza, and that was something which at the time was very obvious. You could see from the pictures that they were white phosphorus weapons, and yet our media said, these are allegations that we can't substantiate. So I think the media coverage in Britain of the conflict in Gaza was very biased.
I suggest an idea. I think that you can. Send us many experts of people, such professors, and experts that they can come together and help us to strengthen our English language and make many courses that help us in the educational side. So after the war, our education has some side effects, and we need to strengthen that point. So I think it is not difficult to keep in touch by hold many courses, especially to strengthen us and to exchange experiences and knowledge. Yeah.
Like we need the pressure from the academics to come, from students to visit, from so to keep this pressure on the borders. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible?
It is, but you have to be patient simply because you will stay, for example, around the border, if you like, in no man's land for like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But don't worry, we will send you some nice food if you want.
Thank you. Okay.
We need to talk with someone to understand us, or just to prevent them from committing crimes against our children, our elderly people, and so on. We hope that they can stop these crimes and targeting our houses while we are in. But how? You may have, for example, campaigns in order just to have such things, but what message they can carry for us, in reality, it is completely different.
Please just visit us and come to Palestine. From UI as well, you will see the situation. You will love our food and our people and our stories and our culture.